Howdy, howdy, everybody, and welcome back to Stranded Deep in Conversation, where I think of a topic, I talk about it, I leave, and we go from there. Things are a little different today, though, because as you can tell by the title, you already know more than I do, because I don't know what the title is, because I don't know what I'm talking about today. I literally just woke up like 10 minutes ago, and I'm like, shit, I gotta go talk about something. And I can't think of anything. I have an idea in my mind, but I don't think it works as a Stranded Deep in Conversation thing. It's because I have like a whole thing I want to do, but I don't think I can. I need to have all the visual aids, and I don't. And I already tried adding visual stuff to Stranded Deep in episode 2 at the Pokémon, and when I tell you that took me hours, I don't know how, but it did. Obviously, this wouldn't take hours, but I'm lazy, so we're probably going to save that for a different day. But hope you're all doing fantastic. I'm doing pretty damn well myself. And before we even talk about anything else, let's get into this week in retail. And this is where it gets kind of sad, because some of you might be thinking, oh, well, you can just, hopefully this week in retail will at least be able to carry this episode, because clearly you have a lot to talk about. If you can't even think of an idea that'll take maybe like 15 minutes. No, I have one thing. From this week in retail, and it wasn't even a retail experience. I was on the walk to work, and I was, I guess, there's a couple things about the walk to work, but I was walking to work, and I went over to Spotify, and I'm like, I want to listen to some classy, some good. So I go on to NSP, Ninja Sex Party, one of my favorite bands, and in my head, when I go to click on their play button, I think of the fact that the last time I tried listening to them, they only gave me cover songs that they did, which are really good. They're really good covers, don't get me wrong. But I was like, okay, if they give me a cover, that's going to be fine. But then in specificity, that I start singing in my head their cover of Your Love. So like, Chelsea's on a vacation far away. That thing. And I was like, if it's going to be that, that's cool, but I'm gonna lose my shit because like I feel like every time I open this, like at least 3 songs in, I get that song, and I click play, and I click play right after I have that thought, and then you know what fucking blows into my ears? I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. It was the exact song that I was gonna lose my mind. I was like, I didn't know what to do, because I literally nailed the random song choice that Spotify did. I don't know how I did that. There were so many songs to choose from, and we both chose the same freaking song. It's crazy, and it's not like I vocalized any of this. It's not like Google could have been listening to me. Like, all right, screw this guy over, give him Your Love. But no. They just screwed me in the face. That, my friends, is all I've got. I feel like I've done numerous Stranded Deep in Conversations of this exact scenario, where I just have literally nothing to talk about. So I mean, I guess I got a skunk got run over on my general walking path to work. So it smells like absolute ass, and I feel kind of bad for the skunk because it's still sitting there. It's been a whole week, and no one has bothered to, like, I'm not going to touch it. But I figured, like, every time something dies on the road, like, sometimes, like, a raccoon will die, or a squirrel will get run over. Usually after, like, a couple days, it's like, kind of, like, at least pushed into the grass by somebody or something. So that way it can just kind of get decomposed and give back to the world. This thing's just been sitting on the it's like the beginning of the sidewalk not even the sidewalk, the road. The beginning of the road for like a week now. And it smells just as bad as day one, let me tell you. They don't fuck around. Skunks. I've never been sprayed by a skunk, but I've always heard the whole thing where you have to like lather yourself in tomato sauce and stuff, and I'm like, why? That seems very inconvenient, but I guess it's literally, I mean, if it helps, anything is better than that, because holy shit, skunk smells bad. And does it only stick to, like like skin or like fur or hair. Because I know like sometimes dogs will like be outside and a skunk shows up. They piss off the skunk, and then they're a smelly boy for the rest of their life until you tomato them. But it's like how long does that last? Because so far I'm finding out at least a week if you don't do anything about it. But B, does it only stick to people and like animals? Like what if you sprayed a car? Like what if a car like, got really close to a skunk and then it sprayed the skunk? It sprayed the skunk stuff all over your car, and you get out of your car. Does your car just smell like skunk for a week? Like, I feel like it's an easier clean because it's literally just like a wipe down situation. But what if you accidentally what if you touch where a skunk sprayed with your hand? Does that like transfer it to your hand? Sorry, I almost just threw up right in the beginning of the episode. So we're off to a good start. We're off to a very good start. But seriously though, that confuses me. I'm just reading the basic news for today. Nearly $20,000 worth of merchandise stolen from a Walmart. That's pretty wild. Alright, well, I'm done with that. Walmart, pretty cool place, I gotta say. You can get a whole bunch of cool shit. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck we're talking about today. Hope y'all are doing well. I can just say that for half an hour. That sounds good, right? I've been watching the Saw movies again lately because on Friday, which is next Friday, so not this Friday, next Friday the 20th, I'm gonna go watch Saw 10 with my sisters because we're all off on that Friday, and it's gonna be awesome. I know it's been out already for a while, but shut up, alright? I'm gonna get there, and it's gonna be awesome. It's just a good movie. I'm imagining it's gonna be a good movie because I haven't looked up anything. The only thing I've seen was like the couple trailers that teased the situation that was going on in the movie, like how John's like going after his doctors and shit for making him die and stuff. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting. I hope it adds to the lore and it isn't just like a whole extra branch of stuff. I'm just glad that it brings back Tobin Bell as John Kramer. I love him in the movies more than most things, so I'm glad he's back. Because Saw 2 is one of my favorites, mostly just because of all the back and forth that he has. He's a great actor. He's a cool looking dude. But yeah, it's really cool, and I'm looking forward to still watching it. I've been wanting to watch so many movies lately, like Indiana Jones. I've been wanting to watch. I haven't. I'm probably gonna fucking. Is it on Disney Plus now? Is it? Because I have Disney Plus. I could probably just watch on Disney Plus because it's Indiana Jones. I imagine that's Disney. But yeah, I have no idea. Honestly, goodness, no idea. For those of you who have been watching my Pokemon stuff, or all like my live for my Pokemon stuff, I've actually managed to complete the new Kitakami Pokédex. Pretty nuts. And I only just now realized that something you could do in that game was do those terror raids like randomly. You can like join one randomly from online. I always heard you could do that, but I tried and it didn't show up, so I just gave up. Apparently you have to be connected to the internet before you even go into the terror raid battle thing, and then it shows up. Because before I wasn't connected to the internet. I just assumed, okay, if I go over here, I'll see it. I'll see the option to connect to online to access random ones. No, it just shows the little fucking magnifying glass like link code. I'm like, I don't have a link code. Damn it, I can't do it. So I figured that out, and I've just been doing a bunch of those the past few days. I've been really on a Pokemon grind. I don't know why. I'm looking forward to the next DLC. Because I'm really hoping it adds like a battle tree, battle stadium sort of thing. Because I really love those. Like in like X and Y, like their battle maison or battle mansion or whatever it was. There was I loved doing like the gauntlets of like single, double battles, triple battles, rotation battles. I loved rotation battles. I've been really upset that the rotation battles have just gone away. Triple battles were okay. Rotation battles were fucking silly, and I loved it. But yeah, I love doing those, and ever since Gen 6, I did pretty good. Like I had a decent team go into that. Every time I've tried like the battle tree or that's pretty much the only other one I've tried. Or if I go back to the Battle Mansion, I suck balls. Like, I was way better at competitive Pokemon as a kid than I am now. That's for fucking sure. But I really want it back because I've been really looking forward to it. And the only thing I hated about that was that if I wanted to use a Pokemon, I had to be at least level 50. And as a result, I've literally, for this one, every Pokemon that has not been level 50, I've been doing these max raid farms to get, like, Pokemon easily to level 50 or higher, usually level 75, I do the 5-star ones. And then I take all the candies that I get and I just fucking mass fuel it into a Pokemon that's not level 50 yet. And then it's level 50 and I go, okay, who's next? Because I am hoping that it's going to show up. If it doesn't, I'm going to be really sad. But I'm really hopeful because that's honestly like my most fun thing. Because like I could just do online competitive, but that requires a lot. Like you have to get a whole team, you have to get it all like perfectly EV'd and IV'd and shit. And obviously, if you want to do really good in the Battle Mansion things, you want to do that too. But it's less of a necessity. It's more about your strategy and shit than, oh hey, you forgot to give the right fucking nature to your Pokemon. I'm faster, you lose. You know, it's just like I love the competitive thing. Like I love competitive Pokemon. Like that goes without saying, but it's just a much harder grind, and it's all for in my opinion a much smaller payoff because you could grind up your Pokemon for like days and then be like, okay, finally, yes, this Pokemon has been perfectly natured, IV'd, EV'd, everything I could ask for. It is ready, and then like a week later, you can find out that either it has lost its usefulness or there's a new, better set that's been found that you need to completely rework the Pokemon for. It's like, well, shit. And then you have to spend days and days and days doing it again. Like it's just. It's a grind, to say the least, especially if you want to be good at it. Like if you're just gonna go in there and dig around, then I mean obviously yeah, you can do whatever you want, but otherwise you gotta go crazy, and that's why I like the offline battle management stuff because I can dick around and not be like, oh no, this is ruining my fucking rank or whatever. Like because I saw online a bit ago, like ever since Screamtail's been invented or like added to the game. They had like a whole like Jigglypuff oriented team. So they had Igglybuff, Jigglypuff, Wigglytuff, and Screamtail, and they'd just go and ladder with that. And I thought that was the funniest thing in the world. I love just dumb little teams like that. You could probably do that with all the apples. I'm sure someone's done that with all the apples by now, because now the Applins evolved again into Diplin? Not Driplin. But yeah, I just love the dumb teams, and that's also why I'm trying to get all like the fully evolved ones to level 50 as well, because I don't know, maybe I can do some stupid shit with like second tier evolutions. I don't know, and I'd love to do that on the channel, just fucking around with the Battle Mansion shit, like whatever. Hopefully, if it comes in the next DLC, hopefully I can just stick around with that some more. I'm really hoping it does, because otherwise I just have a bunch of Pokemon that can't do shit. And also, I don't know how they're gonna be. I'm assuming there's gonna be more DLC after this, right? Like, I know last generation they only did 2 DLC, but they separated them for a fair distance. These are just 2 DLCs of the same, 2 parts of the same DLC that are being released in different times. So I imagine there's gonna be even more DLC after this. I just hope that they don't wait till like next year's DLC to add the battle stuff, because that would kill me. That would crush me like a turtle. But yeah, it's really exciting. I'm very, 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 very excited. I want Octillery back. All right, listen. I know they can't have every single Pokemon in the game. I don't really care about that, if I'm being honest. Like back with like X and Y, like I didn't have like access to most of the Pokemon because I just had whatever X and Y had. But I didn't care. I just thought it was fun. Like the only things I really wanted were all like the different legendaries in the games, because those were just cool. And like with Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, there you go. You can just fucking get like most of them, and then there you go. Big win for you. And I just miss that. I miss what am I missing? I don't remember. I once again talked myself into a circle. But yeah, Octillery, right. So I don't care that every Pokemon is gone. There's just certain ones. Like, I wish they kept all of, like, like at least like the Gen 4 boys in there. Well, the ones you can get in Gen 4 anyway, not Octory. I don't think Octory's Gen 4. I think Octory's Gen 2. A lot of the Pokemon that I love in the game are from Gen 2, like Girafarig. Luckily, they're there. Ampharos. Yeah, he's in there. I love Minior. Minior is one of my favorite fucking Pokemon ever, and they have not even glanced at it since Gen fucking 7 when it came out. I want it back. I feel like that's one of the only Pokemon from Gen 7 that haven't returned at all in any form. Hold on. I'm Googling this now. Gen 7 Pokemon. Because I feel like I haven't seen... Okay, so Rowlet we've seen. Incineroar we've seen. All the starters we obviously seen. I'm not too sure about Toucannon. That's actually a good point. I don't know. I didn't play Gen 8, so I don't know if Toucannon made it back. I have no idea. I'm trying to look at Cerebi. It's not very helpful. Surprisingly enough, it's not very helpful. National. I don't need a national. I want to know if it exists. I mean, it only shows the Alolan Pokédex, so I assume that means that it's not. Because if I go to Incineroar on a different tab, no, it only shows the Alolan Pokédex. So that's kind of weird. Oh, but okay, it shows you could do it in Gen 7 or in Gen 8. Okay, so yeah, Toucannon didn't even get back in. Why didn't Toucannon get back in? I love Toucannon. He's such a cool dude. Young Goose and Gumshoes made it. A Vikavolt made it. Crabominable somehow made it. I don't get that one. That one I don't understand. Like it missed Gen 8, but it came back in Gen 9. Well, at least do that with the rest of them. Cutiefly and Arbumby made it back. Rockruff's been making it back. Wishy-Washy. Has Wishy-Washy been out of Gen 7? It made it in Gen 8. Okay. I love Wishy-Washy. Mudsdale, they're there. Shiinotic. Has Shiinotic made it out? Shiinotic is in Gen 8. Okay. That's fair. So far, only Toucannon has not made it out of Gen 7. I feel like Beware definitely made it out. Yeah, Beware made it out. Serena, I'm pretty sure is in the game. Yep. Comfey. Has Comfey made it out? That I don't know. In Gen 8. Okay, that's cool. Golisopod, that's... Okay, I feel like he's definitely Gen 8. Yeah, cause I know he's not in Gen 9 yet. I assume he will be, because he's just a cool fucking dude. The pile of sand that somehow keeps making it out of the world. He's in all 3. I didn't even realize that he was in this generation. But hey, there you go. Pyukumuku. I fucking love Pyukumuku when he was in Gen 8. I wish he'd be coming Gen 9. I'd love that dude. Type Null. I think he's been in all of them. Not on this one yet, but yeah, he's been in Gen 8. That makes sense. Turtonator. I feel like he might be stuck in Gen 7. No, he made it in Gen 8. Wow. That's crazy. Well, there's Minior, obviously. Never seen the light of day. Really sad. Kamala's in the game. Togedemaru, I'm pretty sure, is in the game. He's in Gen 8. Okay. Bruxish is there. Drampa? Maybe? I think Drampa's probably Gen 8. Yeah, Drampa's Gen 8, yeah. Delmise is definitely Gen 8. Yep. Komodo line, the Tapus, and all the legendaries. So yeah, literally, with the exception of maybe some of these fucking, like, Ultra Beasts, but I'm sure all the Ultra Beasts made it into Gen 8. So the only 2 Pokemon from Gen 7 that have not made it out of Gen 7 are their bird, which blows my mind. Like, every generation has, like, a rodent and a bird at the start of the game. Their bird is not made out of the start of the game, which blows my mind. I feel like every like regional bird has somehow shown up in like every other game, which might not be the case, but I have no idea. But then Minior is also an exception to this, and he's such an interesting, genuinely unique Pokemon. So why? Like, you break open his core, he's got a bunch of different colors and shit. Like, I love that. And for a gift, my sister actually made me all the different types of Minior. Including a shiny one, which looks very fucking cool. I love those. Those are awesome, and but it's such a cool Pokemon. I don't know why it's not even. I actually can't believe that. That blows my mind. If we look at it's so cool. Yeah, shields down. Change the Pokemon into its core form when it's hit. Before then, it cannot be affected by status conditions, which is really freaking cool. Like, hey, you have like a fucking status shield until you're down below 50%, which is awesome. And that actually begs the question, I've never actually tried this. If you citrus berry, like below 50%, do you go back into your regular form, or do you just stay in core form forever? But I just thought he was a really cool Pokemon, because then it's like, hey, he means some business. I'm pretty sure he sucks, like stat-wise. I'm pretty sure it's awful. But, oh, so there are different. So when he's in core form, when he's in like, base form, his attack stats are pretty bad. Like his HP stays 60, but his attack, special attack, and speed are at 60 as well. But his defenses are at 100. But when he's in core form, his attack and special attack go up to 100. His defenses go down to 60, and his speed is 120. He becomes a fucking menace. He can do just about anything. That's really cool. The only thing I hate about giving something really good both attack stats is because you're probably only ever going to use one. Like what are the odds of you using both? But I guess it's a good fallback in case someone lowers one of those attacks. You can always have an extra thing in there that still does good. But yeah, he does great. Like, that's super cool. Like, I really wish he was back. Like, honestly, those aren't too bad of stats, I feel, anyway. I feel like that's fine. What's the base stat total here? I mean, his regular form's kind of shitty. I mean, 240, 440. But then he goes up to, what is this? I'm very bad at quick maths. 180, 300, 500. So, I mean, he gets a little bit of a buff. I feel like 500's not very great. But, like, hold on. What's the average base stat total for Pokemon? Any Pokemon with a base stat of 130 or higher is generally an excellent choice for that stat. Oh, okay, so 130 is like the 130 or higher for any stat is good. Minior doesn't have any of that, but upper limit is 255. Very few have anything higher than 150. Anything above 130 is usually indicative of top tier. Okay, so he's not a top tier Pokemon, but he's close. And honestly, I feel like he's really cool. The average stat for all fully evolved Pokemon is 90. The average defense stat is 70 for all Pokemon. The average for the... What? Oh, for all Pokemon. Okay, so the average attack stat for all fully evolved Pokemon is 90. The average defense is 83. The average special attack is 83. Interesting. What's the average base stat total? The average stat total is 70.85. So as long as you... But I'm just going about off like the total. Like base stat total, not... The average stat is 70, so the average base stat total is 436. So even with just base form, he is still slightly above average. Love this guy. Like Toucannon, I love Toucannon, but honestly I don't care too much. But I care a lot, because honestly he's really cool. I love toucans. So like when I was able to fucking use a toucan in my game in Pokemon Gen 7, I loved that. That was awesome. And his shiny's really cool too. He's got like a little like red, blue, purple flag thing going on with his thing. It's really freaking cool. And sometimes he holds a Rostberry. That's just awesome. Love that. What are his stats? Oh god. I mean, give me, hold on. We're at, okay, that's 200. 200 plus 225 is 425. He's at 485. That's not the best, but he's got a good attack stat. And that's kind of it. He's very slow. Why is he such a slow I mean, I guess he's a big-ass fucking walking cannon, so that's kind of fair. He doesn't even really fly. Okay, that's fair. But yeah, I can't believe, of all Pokemon, those are the two that didn't make it out of Gen 7. Is there anything that didn't make it out of Gen 6? Hold on, did any Pokemon get stuck in Gen 6? I hope I understand what this means. There are 25 Pokemon that are still stuck in Pokemon Home. What? This was a year ago. I don't know what this means. I did a similar there are 25 Pokemon that are home locked that are not in the code of Scarlet and Violet and aren't in any other game on the Switch. Which are the Snivy line, the Tepig line, the monkeys from Gen 5, Blitzel, Zebstrika, Sawaddle, Swadloon, Levaniel. Those got out. Duckwood and Swanna, they also got out. Minior in the two cannon line, Furfrou and Spinda. Man, oh, Furfrou. Has Furfrou been in any other game? Hold on. Furfrou. There's no way he's stuck in Gen 6. I don't believe that for a fucking second. I don't believe that. There's no way. Game data. He's in Gen 7, right? Oh no, he's not in Sun and Moon. But he's in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. And he's not even in Gen 8 or Gen 9. Wow. Furfrou hasn't made it out of the 3DS era. That's fucking crazy. Well, you either have all the monkeys, I guess. And even 2 of the Gen 5. Snivy didn't make it into Gen... Like, hold on, they didn't put some of the starters in Gen 8? Snivy... That's insane. I thought they put all the starters in Gen 8. I thought that was the... They really didn't? Wow. Or Gen 7. What? Snivy didn't even make it out of Gen 7? What the heck? So Gen 6 was the last time you could use a... Well, I mean, you can obviously use it in Gen 7 if you trade it. But they don't have any Pokédex entries, so they didn't intend for it to be in Gen 7 either. That's wild. That's actually crazy. Wait, but no. It says you... What? You can get it in Gen 7. You can breed Superior or trade it. Okay, never mind. So, that's fucking wild. So there's 2 starters, which is a Tepig line and a Snivy line. Both lines, which I'm actually pretty big fans of, that you can't even get in most of the games. And apparently he also missed the Packrat line. So Packrat and Watchog are gone. So it's a special case because it cannot enter or exit Pokemon home despite being in Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. That's kind of weird. Any Pokemon you don't see here are in a game or an SB code and will be available after the home update. Okay. All these Pokemon are Gen 5, 6, or 7. After the likely Gen 5 remake, there will probably still be that. I just want Minior, man. No Minior's trophy. Justice. Yes. I want justice. God damn it. It's crazy. Yeah, because Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl took all of Gen 1 through Gen 4 back into at least the Switch era, leaving a lot of Gen 5 out, and a little bit of Gen 7, and one fucking Pokemon from Gen 6, which is Furfrou. That blows my mind. That actually blows my mind. Well, now Duckwood and Swanna are in the game, Sawaddle Line's in the game, so we still need Blitzel. Oh no, Blitzel and Zebstrika are in the game, weren't they? I thought they were. Is Blitzel and Hold on. Hold this phone in my hand. Blitzel. I could have sworn they added Blitzel to the game. Did they not? He's in... Oh, he didn't. Wow. Damn, poor Blitzel. You don't really get to see anything of Blitzel. He's just a cool looking zebra dude. I love the zebra dude. Dang, that's really sad. That's crazy. That actually blows my mind that they didn't make it in. I mean, the monkeys, no one fucking cares about the monkeys. The monkeys didn't make it into Gen 8 though. That's actually kind of surprising. Panseer. That's kind of wild to me. That Panseer didn't even make it. Like, any of those monkeys didn't make it? Wow, they didn't. That's fucking crazy. I mean, no one liked them, so it makes sense. But I'm surprised Emboar and the Snivy and Tepig line didn't make it. That's crazy. That blows my mind. And I'd love to see Minior back in the game, because again, I love Minior. I guess that's just wild. And like Furfrou was super cool. You were able to like trim his freaking everything and just have like a cool looking fucking Pokemon. People were saying Dexit's a disaster. I do think not being able to use every Pokemon in every game kind of sucks at some point, but it makes sense. But yeah, I mean, I'm just surprised that they don't at least like prioritize some Pokemon to bring them back into a game. And then there should be a Pokemon battle game, I feel, where like you kind of just have like every Pokemon. Like it's like it takes from home. It doesn't take from like that generation's Pokédex. It pulls from Pokemon Home, whatever Pokemon you have in there, and then you could fight any of those against anything else. I thought that'd be kind of cool. Because I do like the idea of being able to use any Pokemon, but I do understand why they can't. But also, it's just like, come on, Minior. Like, at least add Minior back. If they don't add Minior back in this next DLC, I'm gonna be really sad. I know I'm not gonna see it, but I'm gonna be so happy if I do. The last time we could catch Zebstrika on a route was its own region. That's crazy. Like, seriously though, like, that's wild. Like Blitzo was Gen 5, and they hadn't let you touch it since Gen 5. Like, you have to wait forever to get a Blitzo until, I think they said the Safari Zone was in Gen 6, where they could find that. But then after that, it's just been dead to time, which is crazy, because it's a nice Pokemon. It's just a fucking zebra. What the hell? It's crazy. Honestly, crazy. Pokemon is in a really weird state. I mean, it's not in a weird state. It's in a fun state. I enjoyed the DLC. I thought it was pretty fun. I wish they added more Pokemon. Like, in terms of their own like, unique ones, they only added like 7, I think. Yeah, they added 2 evolutions. They added 2. They added an evolution. Because they added Diplin. They added the fucking Matcha Geist, like the Poltergeist form. They added fucking what else did they even add? They added 3 goons and they added Ogerpon, which is just, I guess technically it's 8 because if you count the pre-evolution, which is kind of wild. Like they didn't add like any guys. Like I guess at the end of the day, I don't know how many Pokemon they really added unique to like the other generation, like Gen 8's DLC. I know they added like some legendaries and shit, but I don't think they really. I think the DLC was mostly just to bring older Pokemon back into the game. I miss Shuckle. I really miss Shuckle. It's really sad. I want Shuckle in my video game. Like Shuckle was one of my is I think still my favorite Pokemon. Like if not, he's very up there. Like I forget. I hope. I don't know if I did the Pokemon tier list on this computer, but if I did, I hope they kept it. Every Pokemon tier list. I didn't do Scar. I did have Scarred and Violet, didn't I? Did it save it? Oh, these all just the starters. I don't care what the starters. Every Pokemon. No, this didn't. If it is, I didn't save. Pokemon starter, first form. No, I want all of them. Every Pokemon. Okay, I don't think it saved my Pokemon tier list, which is a shame, but it also was ages ago, so it makes complete sense. Yeah, because they probably updated the list before I did it. Like, after I did it, sorry. But, yeah, I mean, friggin' I love honestly, I can see a reason to like just about every Pokemon, except for, like, certain ones. Like, Impidimp. Fucking hate that guy. Impidimp's a little shit. I don't really care at all for Diggersby. He just looks like a guy who, like, just fucking went ham on a chocolate cake. Like, he looks like a mess. Not a big fan of that guy. Furfrou is really cool. Like, I'm looking at the list and I spotted Furfrou. He's got a bunch of cool little designs for his fur. I guess just because it's such a bizarre mechanic, they're like, we're not gonna add a whole NPC just to be like, oh, you can cut your Furfrou's hair here. How about you do that? Yeah, but still, it's really cool. Minior, I love Minior. God, I'm genuinely getting sad because I miss Minior. I'm gonna go pull out my 3DS and play fucking Ultra Moon so I can get Minior again. Because Minior's just getting the fucking Blitzo treatment, and so is Toucannon. You can't get to them. Like, it says here, right? There's 25 Pokemon that you cannot get out of Scarred into like a Switch game, which is a shame. And Furfrou is one of them. Toucannon, with all the Gen 5 ones, you can still get them in like Gen 6, which isn't like saying much. But I mean, I guess with Blitzel, you can't get him in the wild anywhere except for like Safari Zone, which is kind of lame. With Gen 6, you could get all the monkeys and eventually all the starters. But getting a starter was always a weird situation, so I don't necessarily count them. But yeah, Blitzel, the Blitzel line, Minior, the Toucannon line, and Furfrou. Those Pokemon, those poor sons of bitches, have been locked into their game for like a decade, like over a decade. Right? Because Gen 7 was when? I don't know when Gen 7 was. I mean, it probably wasn't a decade. It's been like 6 years, so it's not a decade. I'm an idiot. But still, half a decade, at least 6 years, they have been locked away from ever enjoying themselves. Which is fucking sad, man. I really want to play with them. Because honestly, if they ever come to like Scarlet and Violet, I want to make a team with Zebstrika, Minior, Toucannon, Furfrou, and who else here? I mean, I guess we could if Superior and Emboar ever make it back into the game, I'll add them, and then I'm gonna kick some serious ass. Just so they can feel happy, because they have not seen the light of day in years, which is sad. I can't believe they don't have like a starter line in the game yet. Like, how do you not have like? Everyone loves the starters of like every game. Like, every game comes out, like a third of everybody gets a certain starter. A third of the whole community loves a starter, and they don't show up for 2 generations after. Like they're not even on the Switch anywhere, which is crazy. Like, I know it says that a Gen 5 remake is almost definitely coming, which, I mean, I hope so. I personally would rather have Pokemon Z. And this comes into another situation for me. I loved Pokemon X and Y. I thought it was a great game. Okay, listen, the story was obviously like very iffy, but as a kid I didn't care too much. But nowadays when I go back to it, it's kind of like, yeah, I'll get through the story. But there's a lot of things I liked about that game that I had listed down, and I can't really remember. It's been a while since I played them, but I do know that I loved the decks. I loved the regional decks, because like every route had different Pokemon. When you go to certain Pokemon games, like every route has like 5 or 6 Pokemon, and they're all like 4 of them are things you've seen before, but 2 of them are unique. With Pokemon X and Y, if I remember correctly, every route had different Pokemon you can catch, which was great. I loved that. Obviously, with other games, you still get a bunch of unique Pokemon, but you still see duplicates. And I feel like duplicates probably still definitely existed in X and Y, but it felt far less common, and I'm pretty sure it didn't happen at all. So, but I could be wrong there, so I'm not gonna fully stake my claim there. But yeah, I really liked that, and I don't know. I honestly wish I could tell you why I liked X and Y. I had a lot of reasons to love it. I can't remember them, because I've been literally too focused on playing Scarlet and Violet, because I do like Scarlet and Violet. I do think Scarlet and Violet is a better game than X and Y, but at the same time, there's a lot of duplicates in a lot of different regions of Scarlet and Violet, and I would love if every region had its own unique set of Pokemon, but I guess you can't do that if you only put so many Pokemon in the game. I don't know. It's fine. I don't care. I just wish what I wanted was in the game, which is Minior, and Toucannon and Furfrou and Blitzel. I didn't care much about Furfrou and Blitzel, or Toucannon really. I mainly just want Minior. If I can get Minior back in the game, that'd be so awesome. What I want is Minior to be crucial. I feel like Minior is getting like the Carbink treatment, you know? It's not, no one really remembers it, but at least Carbink has been in the games. I mean, for goodness sake. Like, imagine how cool the top of the Crystal Lake thing would have been if instead of like a bunch of freaking coughing and shit, it was like you'd see Carbink and you'd see Slugma, but also just scattered around the area, you'd see a bunch of different colored little Miniors just like fucking floating around the thing. And then when you get close to battle them, they like suck in some armor from they rip out the ground and like make armor, so that way you couldn't fucking just murder them. Like, that would have been cool. That would have made that little top area way, way more magical, because you literally can't do shit. When they said that, like, it's supposed to, like, usually, like, some, like, pretty high-level Pokemon come out of the water on the Crystal Lake thing, I thought they would eventually, but no, it was just a stupid thing to, like, hype up the melodic and be like, oh, yeah, ha, ha, ha. Then that's it. That's all you ever get from that. And you can't even catch that melodic. I thought you could go over there, fight some really hard Pokemon, and catch them and be like, yeah, I got this cool Pokemon now. But no, it's just a fucking lake. I wish they fleshed out the world more with Scarlet and Violet, like, even with like the base game, but very much so with the DLC. I feel like with the DLC they did a little bit better because there were certain NPCs that kind of took you on little quests and stuff. But I feel like if they made the world more, just interesting, like that lake should have had something happened at it instead of just like, oh hey, let's go to the lake, and then you go to the lake, you listen to like a minute of dialogue, you fight a melodic, and you leave. Like, I wish there was something more that you could do with it, but there isn't. I granted that's mainly a problem with Pokemon. Like, they don't they expect you to play the story, play competitive, and die. But I really fucking wish they made, especially since it's an open world Pokemon game, I wish they made it super unique, but they didn't really. What was this? This was 25 days ago. Pokemon X and Y are turning 10 years old next month. And that was almost a month ago. That's crazy. And yeah, Mega Evolution. I obviously don't wish that every like mechanic was back, but I wish Mega Evolution came. I kind of do, because, but I don't know. Because Mega Evolution was really cool. I would only want Mega Evolution back if they're adding more Mega Evolutions. Like, I don't need the same like 30 Mega Evolutions. Like, I don't miss many of them. The only one I miss is Ampharos, because I love that sick fucking hair he gets. I always call my Ampharoses Bon Jovi or John Bon Jovi or John Bovi, because that's who it reminded me of immediately. I fucking love that. But yeah, other than that, I don't really care too much about missing Mega Evolution and stuff like that. It's just kind of what it is. Oh yeah, because they added a whole new type, I remember. Yeah, I just, sorry for the quiet. I'm reading the stupid Reddit post. I'm closing Reddit. Fuck Reddit. Hate Reddit. Unless I'm trying to look up something, then I love Reddit, because then it actually gives me an answer of what I need. But if I'm ever just trying to scroll Reddit, it sucks. Okay, I think we'll call it there. This is just a Pokemon rant, which I guess is what the title's gonna be. So for those of you who have watched to now, you now know the title, which you probably already do, because that's what the title's gonna be. But it's also not even all a Pokemon rant, so maybe it's a little bit of a clickbait thing. But it's mostly, I've mostly just been ranting about Pokemon, I feel, anyway. I could be wrong, but it's been 43 minutes, so I feel like we're kind of there. But thank you all for tuning in to this episode of Stranded Deep in Conversation. Hope you tune in next week, where hopefully I'll have a topic prepared. Bye, everybody.